Transformers reviews, tech and the news, whatever else I use as a muse. Hit subscribe, I appreciate the views. Influences interest on YouTube.
What's going on, people? This is Influence, and today I got MS-G04 Truck Boy, which is their Mukudo Magic Square deformed figure of Optimus Prime. So these are like the super deformed type of figures, and I got some more to compare with the aesthetics. But off the bat, I really like it. It's different. I mean, if you're into this type of style, you know, it's much different from a normal figure. So to get that out the way, but yeah, if you like this thing, he's very articulated, as much as he can be super complicated to transform though, which, I mean, it's not. It just has a lot of steps, and you got to be careful and mindful of the steps. So leave it at that. It's not really, once you do it, it's not that crazy, but there are some things that you need to know. So let's get into accessories. He has the Matrix in his chest. So let's close that up so you can see him full on and see his head and chest and all that stuff. Take his gun out, which is the first accessory. Well, actually, it's not the first accessory. The first accessory is, see that up close? See the Matrix? See what it's looking like? Eyes are nicely painted. See that? Nice paint accents on the shins, on the toes, up here. The red, blue, the silver, the white, yellow. Kind of pops. You see the back. Comes with this gun that does do a number of things that are for no reason. No, I don't know what they are for, but I do know that you can store the gun in different positions on the truck. And it does all of this. It folds up compact in case you want it compact, and then it folds up, and it's reminiscent of his G1 gun. It's just big and deformed. You have a card with the same picture that the box is on there. Have his tech specs. He's of course powerful. Missing 2 or 4, I should say. Has trash directions. Those directions are trash. And you have the box. Has some pictures of the product in the alt mode on the back. There's 2 ways you can have him in a robot. It's this way, which makes him a little shorter, or you can move these down and make his legs a little tiny bit longer, and then he's bigger and a little more slimline, which I do like that look. It's cool. But put it back how, I can't say how it's supposed to because they show both. Let's get him compared to some other figures. So first, just to show you how big, or I should say small, he is, I'm gonna do a mainline figure here and a masterpiece figure over here, so you can see how big he is next to them. That's Fans Toys, Masterpiece, Mirage, and what's his name? Counterpunch? Not Counterpunch. I forgot his name, but he's a mainline figure. Let's bring in some deformed figures. So we have RC here, which is pretty cool, but definitely different. She transformed, and I liked her transformation, but it was nowhere near as complicated as his. To be expected. I mean, she's always a shell former, so. But then I have Mastermaid's deformed figure here. This is Cerebros that came with their Fort Max, of course. And you can see how they compare. So I think they look pretty good. Even though I don't think Cerebros is bigger than Optimus. So if you wanted to, you could do the little trick here. See what he looks like next to him. He was a Headmasters, and their Headmasters are big. So yeah, I think that's more in line with how it should be. And you have RC here. I think that's a good scale. nice, nice. Master made figure. If you can pick up any of them, side note, wonderful figures. So now let's go over articulation, which he has quite a lot of articulation. So his head goes down. It's on like a hinge swivel. So it goes down all the way around. You saw that, about that much down. And not really a whole lot up, but you can get it off this joint if you want it to go up. I mean, it messes up the sculpt, but it's an option. Of course, you get side by side. You get no side by side like that. Arms go up about this much because it does hit the head. He has a butterfly, kind of. It's mainly for transformation, but is kind of like a little butterfly. When I first opened it, it was pretty loose, but you can get a little bit tighter. It's not bad. Arms spin all the way around. Again, you got this joint right here that you can go down, have his arm like that, or up on the shoulder. He has bicep swivel. He has a bend that gets you 90 degrees, and his fist swivel, but they're just fixed. He has waist swivel all the way. He does have ab crunch. Not really, but for transformation purposes. And this is a hard tabs. But for transformation purposes, you can get him up, and you can actually use this and prop him if you need to have a pose. Get that back together. You can do the full splits. Like I said, if you get the arms out the way, he can do the full splits. He does the full frontal kick. And I don't think he can do the full back because of, does it move back? It does move back kind of, but it's about that much. But you run into the skirts back here. Get that there. Again, you have this right here where you can make it a little longer. He has a knee that is double jointed. It technically can get all the way up, but does run into a bunch of stuff. Has a swivel at the thigh up here, and he has feet that go all the way down, a toe tilt, I should say. And he has the rocker that way, and he has a rocker that is about this much, not as much. And no heel spur. And that's pretty much it for his articulation. So let's get this guy transformed now. And this is the part where you got to start with these arms, because it is a little tricky. So pull the smokestack out. It's tabbed in right there. Kind of pull his arm out there and move his fist back like that. Then you can move this arm like that and start working on this. Now pull this all the way out so you can unfurl this. Now as you're unfurling this, you can pull this piece out, and at the same time you can see how it's like this. While you're doing that, you want to spin this around the part that's the arms on, and there's a peg here that this is going to clamp onto. So when you're moving this up, move this all the way back like that. And there's a piece right here that this clamps onto there. And it's kind of like a up, a under. So if you put it down like I did and flay it all the way out and then push it up under, it goes under. Same thing with this. You can move this around. I know it's hard to understand, but you're moving this the same time you're moving this out. And then you can, there's a tab there that you can clamp that on too. So all this is going to be flat like that. Now you want to move this out. It just has 2 tabs there. You just pull it off. It's where the hands are. And then you flip this up like this and move this around. But actually, you can move this down like this, and there's another tab that it goes in just like that. So let me see. I think everything's good. I think you got everything. And make sure this tab, it is keep coming out. So I just do it for the sake of doing it. But while I'm manipulating everything else, it's gonna come out. So we're gonna do that again over here. Probably won't explain it any better, but just pull this out, flip this at the same time you're flipping this, and then let it go right there. Try to get this in here like this. Then you want to pull this out. I'm not sure if I flipped the fist, but you can worry about it later. Flip that fist, move this around, flip this out of here, and then try to this where you need it to be. Just get his arms like this. Now you want to come to his head. Back here, there's this piece. You want to pull this out. Leave it up like that. Then you can flip this this piece right here up and out. You can move all this out, and you can see it starting to form the truck. So then you can move this like move this out of here, move this like this, like this. So now you got that. Ears in here. You want to flip them out. Flip that forward. On this side too, flip it out and forward. There you go. Now you want to pull these ears down. Flip this out. You can flip this out as well. And then fold these ears up. And there you go. You can just leave it like that for now. Over here you do the same thing. Flip this out, fold this up, and fold this ear up. Just leave it like that for now. Pull this out again. And it's these 2 tabs that's there. And this thing right here is going to end up pulling down and through that hole. Just like that. And then you have it out like this. Then you can move this all the way around. This right here, you want to pop this off of here. And then move this around like that. Then you can move it back down. So it's something like this. Move these up, which is the arms. Move that up. Move this up so it creates that light fixture. And then you have the arms on this little slider to make it a little easier. And now you're going to push the head up in here, because now you want to try to get all this connected. Now this, you can just leave these doors because you don't want to close them yet, but you want to get all this in here connected. And you can see how it's going to form, and it's hard, it's tight, and it'll come out. There we go. And then the bottom part right here, you want to connect as well. And it's kind of like you can slide them in those pegs. So slide that in there, slide that in there like this. There we go. And then this you can just stick up in there, and that's where that rests. So then you can move this out of here. Now these you can move down, and they're going to peg in. There's little pegs on this right here, you can see, and you push it on that slider and pegs in right there. And same thing over here. You want to move it down. Don't close that door yet. And then you can peg these in there like this. Now this right here, you want to pull that out. You can, it kind of came apart because of when I did it, but this is on a slider. So pull that out, and then you push it down, and just leave it out because it's just easier. I probably should have pulled it out before because it's pretty difficult. There we go. Flip it like that so it fits under there like that. So do the same thing over here, whichever way it fits, so it makes a, and there's, you see the fist with the 2 tab holes. There's these 2 tabs that should go in those holes, but it's kind of difficult to get it lined up correctly where it's like going in those holes. At least I think they're supposed to go in those holes. I don't know. It doesn't really make it less together if you don't, so I don't really worry about it. But you're looking like this now. We're getting there. To do this front here, make sure that's squeezed. All this needs to be open right here. You want to fold this tire down, and then you want to fold this front in, because there's a tab there that goes in the tab here. So the tab hole on here that goes in there, and it kind of keeps this together. And you have it like that. Then you can fold this down here and fold the doors in. If this stays, it never stays. You fold the doors in, it kind of like keeps all this together. Then you can fold this up because it kind of locks this to this. And then you can do the same over here. Do it quick, fold that down. And while you're manipulating all this stuff comes apart. That's something that I don't like. Transformation isn't, it's kind of like Rubik's Cube, to tell you the truth, but it's not the funnest thing in the world. Not super frustrating. You just got to know exactly what you're doing, and panels come off. And there you go. That one did a little bit better. And then you can move this up. So once you do all that, then this kind of stays all together. Okay, maybe it doesn't stay all together, but anywho. So now what you want to do is, there's sequences going on. So I moved these feet. They're on these little, the toe tilts, so I can get to this stuff. So move this stuff out, move this out. You're doing all this so you can get this out easier. I mean, you can just force it out or move it around stuff if you want to. But with all this stuff out the way, then you can move this out of here like this. And this clamps on back here. Right there, and it can get kind of daunting, but you can do it. There you go. And then you can put all this stuff back. I mean, that's why you're moving it. You gotta move this too. I don't know if I moved this. I think I just moved it around it, but the reason you're opening all this is to move this around here and then put it on here. You can move this to its final position, which is like that. And I'll show it over here. You just bend it on that arm and just have it like the smokestacks should be. Don't forget to move all this stuff back up. The only reason you moved it is to get this thing around it. Then move this down, because here's some more clever pieces. Move these toes down, fold these out, and fold this out, because it is the wheels, if you can see. And then there's a peg right there that pegs on the end there, and you want to peg that in to there like that. And then this piece go all the way up and just stays like that. And you can straighten that out. And you have the wheels, same thing over here. Move this out like that. Peg this here. I think there's a peg. Yeah, there's a, wait, is there? Yeah, peg right here. Pegs onto there. Kind of keeps it in line. And then you can just flip this up. Stays up like that. And the last piece is this piece. You want to kind of bring it down, and there's two pegs on the end that go into here. Kind of solidifies the whole thing. But you do have to kind of pull it around it. Then move it down and just peg it in. The one went in. There we go. And the two's pegged in. This thing is for the gun, but for now you can just leave it like that. And I think everything's done. And here you are with the final product. And yeah, I mean, it resembles Optimus. It's a truck. Like I said, you can put this in here on this thing. You can either move it up and move this, put this in here like this, and you have it like that, which is one of the main reasons it moves all around. Or you can store it down here like this. See if I can do it. You can store it like this. You can move it around to keep it. Kind of looks like a tow truck when you have it like that. So the illusion is there. Yeah, this thing moves down. Not sure why. I'm not sure what the reason is, but I kind of like this because it, like I said, it looks like a tow truck kind of. Even though I know Optimus wasn't a tow truck, but they did something with it just to store his weapon. And that's cool. He rolls. He has not rubber tires, plastic tires. You can see the deco, the blue windows, the lights, the yellow. It's nice. I mean, it's a lot more involved transformation than the other deformed figures that I've had. I know RC wasn't nowhere near this complicated. Her head transformed into a lot of the vehicles as well, which I kind of like. That's cool that they do that. But this like really surprised me. Like it was a lot that came out of his head. So, but it'll be a different video transforming it back from here to robot. All right. So thanks for watching this video. And if you enjoyed the review, leave me everything you leave me on YouTube, and I will get up with you in another one. Peace.
You know, life ain't no, life ain't no, life ain't no. As long as you alive, you can give another try and take it real high if you want.